Yeah, so I just want to thank all y'all for letting me torture y'all in the league, especially the Raptors. Yeah, Kobe, I'm happy for you. Not really. But James Harden had the best scoring month of all time. Oh man, I know Jalen didn't just say that. Hold up. Did Jalen Rose just say that? Y'all heard it right. James Harden is on an absolute terror across the league, catching bodies, Euro stepping to another MVP, scorching defenders from deep, even though this is a travel. Thank you, refs. And don't forget, he's also been snatching ankles left and right and actually playing a little defense. Defense? Defense? The man lets everyone get past him on the courts? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Harden is a better player than the Black Mamba, because everyone in their mama knows that's not true. But Harden's showing why he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. And what better way to show that than to compare this season, where he's put together the longest 30-plus point streak since the NBA-ABA merger, and Kobe's 05-06 season, when he went full Black Mamba by himself and torched the Raptors. I mean the league, night in and night out.
What can I say? Mamba out.
We're mostly going to look at the months of January for both of these players, since it was Kobe's best scoring month of his career, as well as Harden. In the 05-06 season, Kobe Bean Bryant, fresh off his first season without Shaq and the Zen master himself, Phil Jackson, came back with a vengeance. He just experienced his first losing season, and for Kobe, that's unacceptable. So he took the mantle upon himself to will his team to at least a winning record and show everyone why he was the greatest in the league at the time. With the help of Phil Jackson, who returned, and no one else on the court, Kobe put together his highest scoring season of his career, 35.4 points per game. But it wasn't until January when we saw Kobe let out the full arsenal, and he exploded for an astonishing 43.4 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. Yes, Kobe actually passed the ball, and a defensive rating of 109.1. This is also the month the whole nation of Canada likes to forget, because Kobe went off for a measly 81 points against the Toronto Raptors. But like I said, James Harden still had a better January, because his stat line read 43.6 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, and 7.6 assists, with a defensive rating of 111.4. And I can hear the Harden haters now saying, he only scores because of free throws, or he travels on every three and refs give him all the calls. Well, at least I would have agreed with you until I looked deeper into the stats. If we're talking about free throws, both Harden and Kobe averaged just over 13 attempts per game, and each made 12 of those attempts, so we can throw that argument out the door. And as far as the traveling goes, there's so many missed calls, you'd think bill collectors were on the other line. That's a joke for my fellow broke adults. Not funny. Did I hit a soft spot?
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Okay, well, back to the traveling. If the refs don't call it, you can't really complain about him doing it. The NBA rules are meant to be pushed to the boundaries so we can adjust them, so maybe he's doing us a favor by exploiting the refs' downfalls. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain used to dunk his free throws, and we talk about traveling. Not the shots, traveling. Now for those of you who still don't believe in Harden's greatness, I got some more fire to throw your way. Not only is Harden almost averaging a triple-double over his scoring streak, he's actually doing it for far longer than Kobe in terms of overall games. Kobe had these numbers over 13 games in January, while Harden has been doing this since December 13th of last year, and even posted 5 triple-doubles within the streak, while Kobe never even had one that whole season. They both had to do everything for their teams, But for Harden, it's been because of injuries to CP3, who's back now, and Clint Capella. But even so, Harden posted a 45.6% usage rating and Kobe's was 42%. They always had the ball in their hands, and when you look at shooting percentages, they're practically tied at 61% for true shooting percentage, which measures a player's efficiency by accounting for field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and three-point percentage all in one. The Kobe shooting definitely looked more efficient because of the shot selections each player took. In 05-06, teams didn't nearly take as many threes as today's NBA, and honestly, it was just a completely different game. The average amount of threes taken was 16 per game, with the most threes attempted per game by the Phoenix Suns at 25.6, and they were one of two teams to shoot over 20. Ironically, this was Mike D'Antoni's team, who was now Harden's coach. He set the precedent for the run and gun 7-second offense, and it has blossomed into a 3-or-die league in today's game, where the average team now takes 31.5 threes per game. That's a 96.9% increase, and it's noticeable in Harden's game as all of his shots are either at the rim drawing contact or from the three. There's little to no mid-range shots at all, and only 10% of his shots are assisted on, meaning he's isoing his defenders 90% of the time to get a shot off. Kobe at least had 37% of his shots assisted on and spread his shots across the whole court, not just in two spots, so I'll give it to him for that. I miss the mid-range game, and it's slowly dying off because of analytics driving the three ball or getting to the rim every time. Kobe made it a mission to exploit you at all three levels on the court, which is why his game translated better in terms of effectiveness, and why I also believe in what he said about Harden being one-dimensional and teams will adjust to his style of play in the playoffs, especially if the Rockets aren't at full strength. You can't expect Harden to play this style in the playoffs where he is the main catalyst on every possession, because that just means all eyes are on him rather than having a lot of ball movement to get defenders out of position. But with CP3 back, it'll open more avenues for Harden to exploit defenders and exploit the system to get the calls he wants. Overall though, I still feel Harden had a better month than Kobe statistically because his numbers across the board were higher, even on the defensive averages, and because he's more than doubled the amount of games Kobe averaged these stats in. If he stays on pace the rest of this season, he will have the second highest scoring average behind Michael Jordan and ahead of Kobe's 05-06 season. Sadly, most people won't recognize the greatness of Harden because we are living in the now. But 5 years, 10 years from now, we will all appreciate this monstrous season Harden is having. And maybe, just maybe, the NBA will adopt a new rule because this is still a travel. I'm done, y'all. Until next time.